If you are looking for bets for UFC 322, look no further. How we doing, everybody? My name is Young Pasty, aka the White Boy Wonder. Look at the skin, white as fuck. And I am here today to give you my 5 official bets for UFC 322. 5 bangers coming your way today, okay? This card has 14 fights. There are a bunch of great fights to watch. That doesn't mean you have to bet on every single fight. That's why we only have 5 official bets. So if you see some fights that you're not too sure about, if you see some fights where the odds are crazy, you don't have to put your money on it, okay? Just find the best betting opportunities, and that's what we did, all right? Now, as we always do, though, we have to recap last week. UFC Vegas 111, pulling the results up here right now, and we had a profitable week, guys. Putting the boxing gloves on, okay? We put these gloves on every time we have a winning week. Plus 1.3535 units. Let's go. Now, Hyder Emil, big letdown. Ricky Simone, big letdown. However, Daniel Marcos comes through for us with the bet number 1. Taco Padilla, our underdog play of the week, sitting at plus 180. Come fight time, it was like minus 120 for Chris Padilla. We were ahead of that big time. That one cashes. And then bet number 5. Fight does not start round 3 in the Medic and Salikov fight and Gabriel Bonfim. Man, that one just hit with ease. I mean, Medic fight ended super quick, and Gabriel Bonfim took care of business super quick. So, plus 1.3535 units last week at UFC Vegas 111. Feels good to put on these gloves, right? 2 weeks in a row with profit. And we're looking to make it week number 3 here with UFC 322. Let me take these off. And let's get to it. My 5 official bets for UFC 322. We sort these in confidence, okay? Bet number 1 is always my most confident play of the week, and then it moves on down from there, all right? So let's get to it. Bet number 1, my most confident play of the week for UFC 322 is temporarily unavailable. I know. You're thinking, what the heck? This is what you start us off with, Young Pasty? Well, literal minutes before this video started, Malcolm Wellmaker and Cody Haddon, the fight is canceled. Bet number 1 was Malcolm Wellmaker and Blanchfield, plus 127 at 2.5 units, but Cody Haddon pulled out of the fight with an apparent broken foot. Like, how do you break a foot overnight, bro? Like, what are you doing? What the hell are you doing? I think he's ducking. Every time Wellmaker fights somebody, someone's pulling out. They see what he's able to do. So I anticipate that, he pulled out due to fear. I'm sorry, Cody Haddon, but I don't know. We keep seeing it from everybody else. And now Malcolm Wellmaker's fighting Ewing. Literally never heard of this guy. This guy literally just fought last week. They pulled him out of the California regional scene. So we'll see how he does. But I will tell you this for bet number 1. Erin Blanchfield will still be a part of it. She is one of my most confident fighters to win on this card, so I'm sure I'm going to pair her up with something else. Now, to get updated bet number 1 when it comes out, check the pinned comment on this video, check my Twitter, and subscribe to the Patreon. Link is free in the description down there. That's where you can see all of my bets when I place them. I posted this bet a while ago, right? And I'm just finding out now that the fight got canceled. So, again, bet number 1 will include Erin Blanchfield. If you want to pair her up with somebody else, go right ahead, because that's what I'm going to do. I'm pairing up Erin Blanchfield with something else in bet number 1. Time will tell what it will be. I did not want to make a rushed decision just to give you guys bet number 1 here. So stay tuned for bet number 1. Again, like I said, it's temporarily unavailable. It will be Erin Blanchfield plus something else. Malcolm Wellmaker, Cody Haddon fight got canceled. So it kind of screws my little 2-pick parlay. I'm not putting in a single bet on Erin Blanchfield at minus 250. I'm not doing that. I'm very confident she'll win, right? But let's be honest here, guys. We're not betting single bets at minus 250. We don't do that around here, all right? So bet number 1 will include Erin Blanchfield. Stay tuned on the YouTube pinned comment, my Twitter, and my Patreon. Let's go. All right, moving on to bet number 2. A real bet, okay? Not a temporarily unavailable one like bet number 1 at the moment. But we are rolling with, and still, Valentina Shevchenko. Minus 122. We're putting 2 units on it, just the money line. to beat Zhang Weili to retain her belt at 125. Weili is moving up 10 pounds. Weili is much shorter than Shevchenko. Weili is at a huge reach disadvantage against Shevchenko. I think Shevchenko is the better kickboxer. I think Shevchenko mixes in the grappling and the wrestling very timely, kind of hides it, right? And is able to use that to her success throughout the fight. Have people thinking, oh, she's going to take me down, she's going to take me down, because she usually lands one here and there throughout the fight. Coming off a damn good win in Meerschaert, who, man, Meerschaert just beat the crap out of Jasmine Jastovicius, right? So that win is aging very, very well. I like Weili's aggressiveness, but I just think Shevchenko's just a little too much. She's been fighting for championships the last 7 years, okay? Don't let the Grasso fights, kind of sway your opinion on her. Shevchenko's elite, okay? This girl's been doing her thing the last 7, has not fought for a belt in the last 7 years. That's just crazy. That is just crazy. Weili lost to Rose Namajunas by a head kick and by decision. Well, Shevchenko got really good head kicks. I really think that she could land one of those and do some damage to Weili. And Weili at times was getting handled on the mat by Rose Namajunas. As I just said, Shevchenko really mixes in her grappling and her wrestling very timely. I think she's able to land takedowns, hold top control. I mean, her top control is amazing. Rolls and scrambles with the sprawls and, what am I saying? She rolls and scrambles with her top position, right? She has good sprawls herself. People don't sprawl off the ground. But she does not allow people to get back up, okay? She maintains position on top if she takes you down. So, been 5 rounds multiple times, championship experience, a tough, mean, strong striker, kickboxer, can mix in the wrestling and grappling at times. I'm taking Valentina Shevchenko, and still the champion at 125. Minus 122. We're putting 2 units on it. That is bet number 2 of the week. Let's go. All right, moving on to bet number 3. Our 3-pick parlay of the week. It's back, guys. We find 3 good legs. Put them all together to get a good number. All right, now, Ricky Simone let us down last week, but nobody will be letting us down this week. Bet number 3, the 3-pick parlay of the week is smacking. All right, here are the legs. First leg, Kyle Daukaus. Second leg, Carlos Prates. Third leg, over 2.5 rounds in the Shevchenko versus Weili fight. Plus 130. We're putting 1.5 units on it. Damn, I love this play, guys. I love all 3 of these legs. Let's go over them individually here. Kyle Daukaus taking on Gerald Meerschaert. Guys, Gerald Meerschaert's cooked. Okay, if you're cooked, you're done. You're done in the UFC. Kyle Daukaus making his second stint in the UFC, coming off an impressive win versus Michel Pereira. Knocked him out in the first round, which nobody saw. And it's, I don't know. That fight was a little bit odd, right? Is it like, oh, Kyle Daukaus really been improving? Or was it, man, Michel Pereira really fell off? You know what I mean? Either way, I still think GM3's cooked. I think Daukaus has more power in the hands, and he's called the Dark Knight for a reason, okay? I don't see him getting caught up in a stupid submission on the ground, okay? He's no dummy on the mat. All right, he's not going to get subbed out by Gerald Meerschaert. He just isn't. I just think Meerschaert's past his better days. He's just very, very old. Dude's had over 50 fights. That is insane. That is completely insane. But I think Daukaus gets the job done for us. Second leg, Carlos Prates. Yeah, the cigarette-smoking, fighting nerd. Taking on Leon Edwards. I'll say it again. Leon Edwards is cooked, okay? We got 2 fighters going up against cooked fighters? No. All right, Leon Edwards has looked very, very bad in his past few fights. And losing to Beneil, losing to Sean Brady. The way he lost to Sean Brady was bad. Just completely dominated and ragdolled on the mat. Not a good look for Leon Edwards. And I don't see him taking out a killer in Carlos Prates. I really don't. So Prates, leg number 2. And then leg number 3, over 2.5 rounds in the Shevchenko versus Weili fight. Again, I did pick Shevchenko. She is bet number 2 of the week. This fight's going to be competitive, though. Weili is not some slum. Weili is not some bum, okay? She's fighting for the championship belt for a reason, okay? She vacated her belt at 115 to move up to do this fight, okay? She wouldn't do that if she didn't think she had a good chance. And Shevchenko, when's the last time either of these fighters really have not gone over 2.5 rounds? It's been quite some time, okay? This fight is probably going to go distance. All I'm asking for is to get through, 5, 10, 12 and a half minutes. That's all we need. 12 and a half minutes. Boom. So hopefully leg number 3 takes us home in the over 2.5 in the Shevchenko versus Weili. We pair it up with Prates and Daukaus at plus 130, 1.5 units. That is bet number 3 of the week, the 3-pick parlay. Let's freaking go. All right, moving on to bet number 4. We're rolling with an underdog here, guys. Give me Michael Morales, plus 125. We're putting 1.25 units on it. He is taking on Sean Brady. I do believe Michael Morales is able to stuff all of the takedowns or most of the takedowns from Sean Brady. If taken down, he can get back up. He has the ability to get back up. He's not just going to lay there on the mat and let Sean Brady do his thing, right? I think Michael Morales has just been surging lately, just coming off a fresh, awesome KO versus Gilbert Burns, who is also a pretty damn good grappler as well, right? I just don't see Sean Brady taking over with the wrestling and the grappling. I think it's going to be a striking match. I think Michael Morales keeps it on the feet. I think Michael Morales is able to take out Sean Brady. Yes, by KO. I think Michael Morales is finishing him, guys. I really do. Like, Sean Brady's not bad on the feet by any means, right? But you're going up against an elite striker, Michael Morales, who's crafty, fluid, powerful. Michael Morales is damn good, okay? Undefeated, going up against Sean Brady, who's 18-1. I got full confidence in my boy, okay? Stuff the takedowns, put your striking on, finish this boy. All right? Michael Morales, plus 125. We're putting 1.25 units on it. That is bet number 4 of the week. Let's go. All right, moving on to bet number 5. We are rolling with Beneil Dariush, plus 155. We're putting 1.25 units on it. Benny taking on Benoît Saint Denis, who has shown some flaws in his game. Had some rough outings versus Poirier and Moicano. And I know MMA math usually doesn't work, right? But Benoît Saint Denis got his ass whooped by Renato Moicano. Beneil Dariush just handled Renato Moicano. He gave him no chance in that fight. So Dariush is the vet, has a lot more UFC experience, fighting experience. I think his grappling is underrated. He does really good work on the fence. Striking's pretty decent. If he is taken down, which could happen here, he has the ability to get back up. And honestly, his takedown defense is pretty sound. Not a lot of people are taking down Beneil Dariush. And again, if they do, Beneil Dariush finds his way back up. I think if he's able to weather the storm from Benoît Saint Denis in the first round, he takes over in round 2 and round 3 and wins a decision, man. This fight goes one of 2 ways, guys, in my opinion. Benoît Saint Denis first round finish, or Dariush by decision. Those are the 2 ways I see this fight going. I think you can actually, on DraftKings, I think you can put in a bet where it's one method of victory for one fighter, one method of victory for other fighters. So I got to look at that line, see how it looks. But, man, I can't back Benoît Saint Denis after his last few fights here. Okay, you beat a fucking Kyle Prepolek. Oh, okay, big deal, big deal. You beat Mauricio Hoofy. Impressive, okay? I'll give you that. But you put Hoofy versus Dariush. I think Dariush wins that fight too. So I'm going with the old, graying UFC vet who has beaten people that Benoît Saint Denis has lost to. And I think he's just able to weather the storm in the first round and take over in round 2 and round 3. Beneil Dariush, plus 155. We're putting 1.25 units on it. That is bet number 5 of the week. Let's go. All right, guys, those are all the official bets for UFC 322. If you have made it this far, thank you so much. If you could do me a favor, click that subscribe button down there. We are on the road to 400 subscribers. We just hit 354 the other day, so I would really appreciate it if you could click that button for me and help me get to my goal. Secondly, Patreon's free. Links in the description. That's where you can see all of my bets at the moment I place them, okay? I don't put these bets in right before the video starts here, right? We put them in earlier in the week. You got to get the odds when they're good because they always sway in the opposite way, all right? Be on the right side of the odds. We're going to have a good week this week. Again, bet number 1's getting reworked, all right? So be on the lookout for the pinned comment, Twitter post, Patreon. I'll update it there. It'll be Blanchfield combined with something else, so we will rework bet number 1. But we're schmacking this week. Okay, guys? We are schmacking this week. Young Pasty, the whitest in the land, the white boy wonder. Look at it. Out. Let's go.